It looked like a hellscape from Mad Max Fury Road when firefighter Lindsay Lance drove through Los Angeles neighborhoods and reached Fire Station 69 in Pacific Palisades, where Captain Dan Olivas concluded the day's objectives at a 7 a.m. morning briefing.
Resources are stretched. Don't expect to go back home anytime soon. Now move.
Then, even as the alarm sounded, Lindsay and her team rushed to their engines, sirens blaring as they sped towards the most posh residential area in Pacific Palisades. The houses on both sides were completely engulfed in flames as Lindsay's team scanned the area for survivors. They spotted an elderly couple trapped on their second-floor balcony, unable to escape due to the fire blocking the stairs. The heat was intense as they deployed the ladder, and avoiding the embers that rained around them, they quickly ascended, not a second to waste. The woman tightly clutched a family photo album, the only possession from the house she carried with her, as she gingerly stepped onto the ladder. Women first, as Lindsay's teammate then assisted the old man in climbing down. Just as the couple entered the ambulance to get first aid, they saw their balcony collapsing behind them. Whew, that was close. Lindsay's team then started hosing the flames in an effort to prevent them from spreading to neighboring homes. Then suddenly, without warning, the wind shifted in the opposite direction, and Lindsay found herself surrounded by smoke. Relying on her training, staying low, and using her breathing apparatus to navigate through the thick haze, she reached the fire truck. Having doused the flames in the area, Lindsay's team left for another location, while constantly getting several rescue calls from other areas. From another burning home, her team rescued 2 Labradors stuck in the backyard. As the night fell, Lindsay got another emergency call.
We are trapped here in our apartment in Altadena. There's fire all around the house. Please save us, please.
Lindsay's team raced to the spot where they found the apartment building surrounded by flames and expertly assessed the only possible solution.
We need to create a fire break using hoses, quickly.
The team concentrated their hoses onto one spot and created a pathway into the apartment. Collapsing debris threatened their every step as they batted intense heat. There, huddled inside a closet, Lindsay found 2 quivering, soot-soaked children.
Come with me, don't worry.
And carried them outside to safety, while her other teammates found and rescued their parents. It was already midnight, and they were exhausted by now, but their 24-hour shift was far from over. Lindsay spent the night on fire watch, patrolling areas and extinguishing flare-ups. By the time their shift finally ended at 7 a.m. the next morning, the drained crew reached Malibu's Zuma Beach, where a sprawling camp had been set up for firefighters to rest, eat, and recuperate. 24 hours later, when her team went back to work, she learned that many famous LA neighborhoods along with their chic houses had been lost. The fire spread so quickly because most houses were made of wood and burned easily, giving the fire more strength. The only houses standing tall amidst a sea of ruins were the ones made of concrete. Some wooden houses that were painted with fire retardants also survived the rampage. But if the Santa Ynez Reservoir, a 117 million-gallon water resource near Pacific Palisades, was not found empty when the fires broke out, could the burns have been contained earlier? Many other hydrants around Los Angeles were either rapidly drying up or had low pressure, leaving firefighters in limbo. As an alternative, the authorities began dropping water and retardants from helicopters across neighborhoods. But the Santa Ana winds were so strong that they grounded quite a few of them. How prepared were the Los Angeles Fire Department and the California state government for the devastating fires? We'll tell you, but first subscribe to Bisbo America. Los Angeles Fire Chief Kristen Crowley also believed she was prepared after the National Weather Service issued initial warnings.
Life-threatening Santa Ana winds and dangerous fire conditions predicted in Los Angeles.
By 8 a.m. on January 7th, 2 hours before the fires broke, she deployed 19 fire engines, 3 battalion command teams, 5 brush patrols, and 2 water tenders. But unfortunately, she stationed them in the San Fernando Valley and Hollywood areas while the fire broke out to the east in Pacific Palisades, and got a free run for a full 4 hours before help arrived. LA Mayor Karen Bass, who went ahead with a trip to Ghana on January 4th, despite early warnings of extreme fire conditions from National Weather Service, had cruelly slashed $17.6 million from LA's fire department's budget in the 2024 to 2025 fiscal year. while two-term California Governor Gavin Newsom was busy arranging a $25 million litigation fund against Trump's far-right policies. The 2025 fires were the costliest disaster in U.S. history, causing an estimated loss of $250 billion so far, including business interruption and healthcare costs. Far worse than Hurricane Katrina that hit southeast Louisiana in 2005 that cost nearly $170 billion. The last LA fires had bankrupted Pacific Gas and Electric Company. Who will it be this time? Not Hollywood studios for sure, because other than disrupting 2 movies, the show went on. Also, most of the big studios are based out of areas far from the fury of Santa Ana winds. But the personal homes of many Hollywood honchos, including Disney CEO Robert Iger's house, were burned, as well as of many Disney executives, for whom Iger has arranged free furnished houses for 2 months, while also opening Disney's wardrobe warehouses to let employees in need grab clothes and shoes for free. Meanwhile, back at Fire Station 69 in Pacific Palisades, Lindsay and her colleagues gather around the kitchen table every morning as their shift ends, sharing tears and gallows humor to keep going.
It's said that what California thinks today, America thinks tomorrow. But turns out, California didn't think at all yesterday.
You will also find these sources listed in a video description section.